Anti-ICE rioters stormed an Oregon ICE office over the weekend, and they hurled fireworks, smoke grenades, rocks at federal agents. Several officers were hurt. Rioters used a stop sign as a battering ram and shattered a glass door of that building. Authorities officially declared a riot and made multiple arrests there. This has gone to a new level. Like that's not, there are no protesters. That's not what's happening out there. In fact, it's dangerous if you're out there trying to be a protester, I would imagine, because you got these guys among you. Los Angeles is ground zero for the anti-ICE protests and riots that have spread across the country. We know that. It started there, now it's moved elsewhere. Police there were again forced to battle with rioters over the weekend. Immigration Customs Enforcement, ICE agents conducting raids, arresting people in this country illegally. That's your first crime. Do more when you get here, just a stronger reason to kick you out. President Trump posted this: "We must expand efforts to detain and deport illegal aliens in America's largest cities, such as Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, where millions upon millions of illegal aliens reside. These and other such cities are the core of the Democrat power center." And the Trump administration announced plans to conduct the single largest mass deportation program in U.S. history. Earlier this month, the White House reported that ICE has arrested more than 100,000 illegals so far this year. Kellyanne Conway, Fox News contributor, former senior counselor to President Trump. So this is on the move. No matter what the rioters or anybody else does, the president is targeting those here illegally, particularly the worst, the violent.
Well, this is very smart, and the White House is doing a masterful job at communicating to us regularly who exactly is being deported. They have this running list of the faces and the rap sheets and the names of examples. Everyone wants to pretend, everyone on the other side waving Mexican flags. I'm sure soon we'll see Iranian flags from them too, Harris. These animals who are hitting out and throwing things, committing crimes against law enforcement in Portland, in LA, and elsewhere. They don't understand that they want to say that Abuela, who's been here for 55 years, a law-abiding non-citizen, is being deported. No, it's these criminals. It's the worst of the worst. And going into the heart of it, where we have an epidemic of Democratic lawmakers in these major cities, Harris, looking the other way for years now. 1.4 million Californians have migrated out of the state of California. Well, why do you think that is? It's a beautiful state, unless you look at all the man-made problems. And I think Donald Trump is doing a favor to these cities who have feckless and reckless, and I think spineless mayors like Karen Bass helicoptering over literally above it all over the weekend. Some of these governors, they won't stand down. They won't stand up to their own base in the party. So Donald Trump's doing them a favor by saying, we're going to come in and root out the criminals. We're going to continue to deport people who are there in the millions. Look at what's happened, the strain on the welfare system, the health system, the schools, the law enforcement. The police force in LA itself is down measurably from just a decade ago, Harris, because they take early retirement. They feel like they're being literally spat upon, and worse, they're under-resourced, they're under-respected, and it starts with these lawmakers.
Which is endangering for the law enforcement.
What you're showing right now, live footage, a peaceful protest, really is part of the problem.
Yeah, I mean, can you call out reality? Look, you mentioned her, and my team got this. Here's Democrat Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass sticking with the talking points, and as Kellyanne said, from the comfort of a chopper.
I will tell you, the 30,000 people were downtown L.A. There were protests in 15 different locations in our city. I flew over each one of them, and they were overwhelmingly peaceful. It's not shocking that at the end of a protest that you're going to have some confrontation. Of course, I wish there was none at all, but I don't think that characterized the day at all.
So why not walk on the ground?
Wow. Yeah, let me just remind everybody, no one on TV is under oath, that's for sure, including the mayor of Los Angeles, who barely won in the first place, lost to a businessman, Harris, who I think did a great job during the fires as well. I mean, she's only been there for, what, a very short period of time. She couldn't handle the fires. She can't handle this. Yeah. But I think, look, this was the mandate. This is one of the many mandates for President Trump in the last election. 10 years ago today, he came down to that elevator and talked about border security and illegal immigration. What a difference 10 years makes in that we need American strength and leadership from the top to send in our federal troops. And by the way, ICE is doing this, Harris, with pre-reconciliation, pre-big, beautiful bill resources. They're the ones with the limited resources. Some people, I think, they're not exactly cynics or skeptics. I think some smart people, Harris, make the point that some of these cities are sanctuary cities and sanctuary states to get more federal funding. But what did they do with it? They didn't root out the criminals. They've just thrown it more at the welfare system. They haven't solved the crime and the homelessness. And, Harris, these are the same jurisdictions that allow theft. We've watched it all on camera on Fox News for years now. You can walk into a store, and if you only steal things under a certain amount of money, the guard can't stop you. The police can't prosecute you. People know that. They need to watch this. This is what's going to happen to you. These people are not heroes and saviors. They're burning American flags, waving Mexican flags, soon to wave Iranian flags, I'm convinced of it. And not just on our college campuses, but in the streets of our major cities. So, look, this is an us versus them fight, and the them happen to be Democratic lawmakers. They should thank Donald Trump because their party is in disarray and dysfunction, and he's actually going to make some of these cities brighter, smarter, and more beautiful and safer in short time.
Yeah, the faster the better. There are a lot of small businesses that are under pressure in some of these cities, particularly in downtown Los Angeles, for example, that's been under this for 2 weeks. I mean, they're changing potentially economies, so President Trump wants to get in there quickly. A new opinion piece titled argues the city's progressive government set the stage for the LA riots. Some of what Kellyanne was just talking about. Here's a piece of it. Why was the city prone to ignite? Because progressive government policies, which ironically harm immigrants most of all, created a tinderbox. If Mr. Newsom and Ms. Bass cared about the welfare of immigrants, they'd clean up Los Angeles' lawless streets, fix its atrocious public schools, and stop their assault on businesses. So kind of echoing some of what we're saying, but putting it out there. I mean, Democrats have got to see reality, but I guess you can't if you're in a chopper.
No, you can't. The statistics speak for themselves. A great piece by Alicia Finley in the Wall Street Journal. And she also makes the point, I think the schools piece and the law enforcement point is very important. If you're an illegal immigrant here and you put your kids in the school, or you're hoping that the police will come and help you when you need that, these policies in the blue cities by Democratic lawmakers overwhelmingly have hurt those that they pretend they're helping. I think it's a numbers game for them, Harris. They just like to say, Trump believes this, so we believe that. And having a sanctuary state literally telling law enforcement, you can't arrest, you can't prosecute, you can't do your job, has hurt the very people they're pretending they're helping. If they cared about these people, they would do something about the homeless. They would do something about the human waste that we see on the streets from the homeless, that these school children in San Francisco, Los Angeles had to step over to get to school. That's the richest irony of all. But look, I think the smartest mayors are the ones who are going to play ball and do work with this government. You see it. I even see it here in D.C., not on every issue, certainly, but Mayor Muriel Bowser, it's obviously a very smaller population
here in New York,
but
Mayor
she's
Adams.
trying to work with the federal government on a couple core issues to improve the affordability and livability of this city. My message to these Democratic governors and particularly mayors across the country is, you've got to work with this. Don't just take the money. Take the advice. People want this. That was the mandate. Law enforcement is incredibly important. Safe schools, health care system that works, et cetera. We don't have it in the blue states.
Yeah. Kellyanne, thank you so very much. It was an opportunity to really drill down on what could be, and we pray for that. Kellyanne Conway, thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.